Hi, Rokk here. Now, did it ever occur to you that you could wear red eyeshadow and it could be much more wearable than you think? Check this out. This is red eyeshadow, and I'm going to show you a way that you can wear it. Now, one thing that I noticed with a lot of eyeshadow applications, after a couple of hours it fades a little, and that's an aspect of this look that I think you can make work for you, because you can get two looks out of it. The look you see right now, I actually got back from a club and I was out dancing all night, and I had this on for over 10 hours. So what you see now is some fading. There is a combination of red and there's gold, and the red is matte and the gold is metallic, and some of the gold has actually come off onto the brow bone, so you see what is probably a more subtle look than it was in the beginning. But I am going to show you that when it hasn't been faded, it actually looks brighter and it just shows up a bit more. Now I'm going to look in the mirror because it looks a lot better looking in the mirror than it does in here. But what I'm going to do before I show you how to do it, I'm going to reinforce the red so that it has the original look that it had. Oh, here it is. Now this is a palette that I got the reds from. You can use really any reds you want. This is from the Kleancolor VIP palette. But I am going to add a little bit more red to it to make it look like it did in the beginning. So just by choosing to refresh it or choosing not to refresh it, you can get two different looks out of the same application process. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I did it. Alright, where's that thing that I used to clip up my hair? I know, when I picked up my cat, oh, here it is. Alrighty. And I got my trusty coconut oil at the ready. Okay. Now, I hope this doesn't take too long to take off. I actually used a waterproof eyeliner on this that isn't really waterproof anymore because I believe the formula was changed. But I decided to wear it for this because I wanted a very thin line. I didn't want to use pencil. I didn't want something that was going to give me a raccoon eyes thing. Tabby boy, stop that. I can't do a video without yelling at a cat. Tabby boy. Oh, now where are you going? Where are you going? No. If I'm going to yell at somebody, the cat I'm yelling at is going to show himself. This is Tabby boy. Do you remember Tabby Boy? Hello, Tabby Boy, say hello to YouTube. This is my bad cat. I love him, but I can't do a video without him having to say, remember me, I'm a cat. It should be the Tabby Boy channel. That's a Tabby Boy channel, not the Leather Rokk channel. Come on, people. Boy, that cat. Okay, where were we? I think I'm going to get a little bit more coconut oil. Okay. Now, to get started on this, let's see, rub this in. Now, usually, I've been doing these ampules that I break off and I apply, and I think there may be a wee little bit left on here. I put that on my face after I cleanse and after I put white vinegar and then my retinol. Now I'm going to do that first coat that I put underneath my eye makeup. Actually, now a lot of times, usually I use this, the Max Factor first coat, but today I'm going to use the e.l.f. eye primer. The only thing I don't like about this is it is, I believe, now this is supposed to be light, but this is, I believe, for somebody that's, well, darker than me. Now, so it's not too dark on the brow bone, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this first coat that I'm really running very, very low on, and I don't even know where to buy it. I mean, because I got it, it was old when I got it, it was on clearance. I don't know if they make them anymore, but I'm going to use that on the brow bone just because you can see, or maybe you can't tell with this lighting, it is lighter than the e.l.f. stuff that I put on the bottom, and this Max Factor stuff is much closer to my skin tone. Okay. Now that we have this, I'm going to show you how easy this is. All you have to do to get this effect, now you can feel free to use any matte reds you have. You probably don't even have to do matte, it could probably be shimmer also, but I'm going to do the matte. And there are two different reds here, and they are so similar you can't really tell them apart. When I swatch them, they look nearly identical. Okay, to do this, I'm doing a heavy crease application. But you don't want to get too close to the brow bone. You don't want to get too close to the brow bone because I'm going to go up there with a highlight color. Okay, I'm going to have to get another brush. One of these days I'm going to have to get a brush roll. It'll make it a lot easier to keep my brushes separated, and there'll be less chance of danger of getting them damaged when I put the zipper up. Now, for this look, I'm not confining everything to one palette. Okay, for the highlight color, I am using the highlight from the Zodiac palette, but you can feel free to use any frosty highlight color that's close to your skin color. I'm very, very white, so I can get away with this. And it's important when you're doing the highlight, if you have a brow color, it's important not to get it mixed in with your brows, because if you had purple brows like I do, for instance, and you got the white highlighter thing, you can very well get mixed in with the brows. Now, I want to just make sure that both of these are identical, so I'm going to go over the other one again just to make sure they match. Okay, now the next step we're going to do, I'm going to delve into another palette. This is the Solar Flare palette. All of these palettes that I've showed you, with the exception of the Kleancolor palette, by the way, are from BH Cosmetics. Now, here, a lot of these golds are quite similar. I am going to use a color called Wavelength. It's one of the brighter of all these colors, and I'll even turn the light out so you could see. I like all these colors almost, really, but this is the most, I guess, the most gold of all the golds. It's a bit bright and it's a bit dark compared to the other ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just in the inner corner. From the inner corner to, I guess, the first third. Okay? Then I'm going to go back to the palette that has the reds, because I want to go back on the lower part of my upper lid, and see how I have two reds here? I'm going to actually go into the other red. You could probably get away with just using one red, because I can't tell these two colors apart. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the bottom lid, and I'm just going to make that red so that we have a look of just the red. Now this look does not require any blending. When you have colors that look this close to each other, there's really no need to blend. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to go over on the other side to try to make sure they're symmetrical. It really is tricky to make sure that both of them match when you figure that the one that you decide that you took the makeup off and you're putting back on, that's much fresher than the side that's been sitting like that for 10 hours or more. So that's why it makes it a challenge to get both sides symmetrical when I do it like this. And now I could see how the gold here, because it has been on so long, faded. So I'm going to go back into the Solar Flare, back into Wavelength, so that both sides match. Now, if you leave these alone, eventually what's going to happen is the gold will start to come off a little bit onto the brow bone, especially if you have any kind of hoodedness to your eyes. If your eyelids are starting to sag. Tabby boy, you better be good. What's this cat doing? I need it. You better be good. Go. You want to go? Go. Jeez, oh man. I'm sorry. I have a cat that just has a mind of his own. Okay, now, because I didn't want to deal with raccoon eyes or anything, and yet waterproof was not really a priority because I knew I wasn't going to be out too long when I was ready to go to the club, I'm using the Maybelline Ultra Liner Waterproof. This used to be my stock eyeliner. Unfortunately, it seems to me that they changed their formula through the years, and so I can't rely on it anymore. But I want to use these eyeliners up, you know. I'm not the kind of person that's going to throw something out until it's used up, unless it was absolutely, there was something wrong with it so bad that it was like making me have an allergic reaction or something. Then I would get rid of it. But if it's just a case of my not being really thrilled with the product, I just as soon use it up, get as much use out of it as opposed to just wasting it, because I just don't believe in wasting things. Okay. Use the mascara that I've been using. LA Colors. This is the lash lengthening formula. And one of the smallest mascaras that I have ever had, aside from the sample sizes. I mean, this could totally, you could totally hide this in your hand. Okay. Now, this is the foundation color that I've been using. L'Oreal True Match W1 Porcelain. I'm very happy with this. I don't have a separate concealer, so if I have any wear underneath, well, considering I was out dancing and stuff, but I don't have anything else to cover up anything on my face. This is actually opaque enough. It is supposed to have medium coverage. It's buildable. I really like it. Especially, I recommend this especially if you have oily skin. It gives a nice matte but not drying finish. It doesn't accentuate the pores. It doesn't really settle into wrinkles too badly. I mean, that's kind of inevitable. If you have wrinkles, your makeup is not going to cover them up. But I like this foundation, and it wasn't too expensive either. This was my highlight color. CoverGirl Professional Eye Enhancers, and the color is called Jammin Improvisation. It's a dark, well, it's like a purple. It's matte, basically a really dark plum. But if you have cool tones to your skin, cool tone would be better than a warm tone for contour. Oh. And here. Now, I didn't wear blush with this. I just wore contour and highlight. And for the highlight, I used, no, actually I didn't. I didn't use the center Zodiac from this. I used two colors from the Blacklight highlight palette. Yeah, I used the center pink that seems to have pink highlights in it, and this is actually, I think, the most subtle of all the colors here. You can go like this, and you can right here, and you can see it, but depending on how the light hits it, it's not hit you in the face with it, you know. I really like this highlight palette. When I use it up, I'm going to get another one. I really like it a lot. I can't say enough for it. In B&H, you know, you shop their sales, and you can get 25% off. You can get 30% off. They have different kind of sales that they sell different things at up to 75% off. So I do recommend that company. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you the lip color I was wearing. Hold on a second. Yeah, here's, unless I didn't bring it. Maybe I didn't bring it. Ah, is this here? In here? I guess it's, yeah, I was going to show you my lip color, and if it's not in the purse, I don't know where it is, but it's okay. It's not this color, but it's one of the liquid lip colors. It's called Luxe Lacquer, and the color is called Blackberry. But that's not the one I'm holding in my hand, but it's a similar packaging. Okay, if you like these videos, I would love to have you join my family. Hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification thingy. It lets you know when I make my next upload. I upload Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and I would love to have you join me along. There's always an adventure when I go on video. And I will talk to you again on, well, tonight is Friday night that I'm doing this, so like practically every 3 days you'll hear from me. Until then, talk to you soon. Bye.